I think because I had a slight resin leak, the screen has become really, really unreliable. So let's try and repair it. So I do have ABS-like resin in the vat. I do not want to funnel it back into the container, into the bottle. So instead I'm just going to take this off and leave it to the side, for now at least. Gonna set it aside. This, however, might be dripping, so let's get some kitchen roll, lay it down, because I do not want that going on my floor. Actually, I'll put it in my resin box kind of thing. A slight leak. It's a little bump. I'll check that out later. I'm going to give it a quick clean with IPA, and then we can flip it over and get to working on the problem at hand. With the screen. But since I don't want resin going on my fingers, I'll just give it a quick clean now. Okay. Right, let's get to it. So, where were we? I want to actually check the pump, if it's functioning correctly as well. Because I think I reversed some resin into the pump, which is not a good idea. Actually, it might be easier if I remove this altogether. So, yeah, I'm going to remove the back plate first. Give this a nice proper maintenance. And I can reassemble it later. Okay, those are off. Now let's get this off. And now I'll undo the pump because I want to give it some maintenance. As I mentioned, I think with my upside down drip system, I reversed the cables the wrong way around. So I kind of, I think, got some resin. Yes, oh my god. I made some resin flow into this. Luckily the bottom is sealed, so it didn't flow down. Oh yes it did. That's not good. Okay, I should wear gloves for this actually. Because this is a bit worse than I expected it to be. Didn't expect this. I'll get a bin as well. There, maybe a slightly better angle. So, I'm going to keep bidding all this kitchen roll as I go through it. Yeah, I'm going to pin that. Okay, that's, I think, good for now. We might come back to that area a bit later. So let's flip it over. And unscrew 2 screws that hold the bottom plate. 3 screws. And I think all the screws that hold this thing together are pretty much identical. Actually, this one looks a bit thicker. But what I'm mostly having a problem is the screen, which is why I'm taking it apart. And I think is because of my initial leak when I bought this printer around a year ago now. I think when due to the poor assembly, because of the insulation wasn't properly insulating the screen, when it did leak through the screen, I think it might have leaked into the screen, into this LCD touch screen perhaps. Now we need a different connector here. Not connector, Allen key. God, my English is way off, isn't it? So I'm just basically wanting to clean this touchscreen with IPA. Like, IPA is good for everything in this printer. Not printer, just resin. IPA is great because it doesn't really damage things, it just cleans them up. Unlike acetone, that is very dangerous for many things. It like destroys. Oh no, I thought it would have a layer on top. So I thought it would have had glass maybe on top of it. But no, this is just, there's no protective glass or anything. So there was kind of no point of me opening this, I don't think. I'm sure I got better access to it for cleaning, but I don't think it's a major. Oh yes, okay. I'm looking at where the resin may have gone because of this, but it doesn't look like it's anywhere further down or there's any drip, which is a good thing actually. But I can clean this properly. Maybe with this plate, it might have covered the screen a bit further. So I can clean it further, but I'm not going to take anything off the front. Like, I'm not going to peel off a layer of the screen. I don't want to twist it. So instead I'll lay it down like this. Because I do see some residue here from excess resin from previous faults or issues. So this might do some good, hopefully. Besides, since I've got much better insulating this printer, these problems might not arise again after I give this a nice clean. So it might become much more responsive. But we'll see. Okay, so now that this is like very clean now. Do I want to give this frame a clean as well? Sure. Whilst we're here, why not? I'm just gonna do that basically, all around the edge. And that's it for that. So now we can screw it back in. So the top is, that is the top. And I do not remember which way the top is actually now. Damn it. Oh man. You know what I can do? I can look up at the video that I just recorded. So yes, this goes on the bottom, so the wire goes down. So now let's secure it back together. Don't over tighten these. And now it's pretty tight, so we can reattach this to the top, not the top, to the front, and it slides into position. Okay. Yeah, it's supposed to slide under the frame. There we go. And before I put the screws back in, I'm gonna clean that area with IP as well. Bottom. Like that. Okay, that's done. So if we have a look at the screen, you can see I was able to clean the edges where I may not have been able to before with kitchen roll. So that should do us wonders, I think. But now let's sort out this, the pump. So although Anycubic did send me a spare one when I was having a problem with the, not just the pump, just the whole system. Yeah, they sent that they sent that to me basically. Wait a minute, I have a few different lengths. Why do I have three different lengths? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I think this one's for the pump. So the short ones are for the frame. Okay. Yeah, so although Anycubic sent me a replacement pump to fix the auto feeding system, that wasn't the actual fix, because the problem was with the cap rather than the pump system itself. But let's open this up, because as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I reversed the flow by connecting the pump in the wrong direction, so it was sucking the liquid into the pump rather than into the vat. So there's resin on it now. So let's clean it up, because the pump is still functional, nothing wrong with that, but I do not want resin going everywhere. And if you do this yourself, wear gloves. So I haven't opened this before, so I don't know what I'm going to expect. Expecting wires here that are held in place at the moment. So let's try to see if we can actually disassemble this successfully. There we go, that's the spring holding it together. Now where is resin? So we have a few tubes going in places, and there is resin all at the bottom of that spring, but this piece is keeping it from coming out. What's causing it to not be able to come out? So this doesn't do anything. Whilst, where do we connect the other one? Yeah, we'll connect the other one to here, that comes out here. Where this wire, okay, we can disconnect this wire. This one, right here. Okay, there we go. There we go. So I'm going to clean this up somehow. I need gloves. Okay, we have gloves on. So let's get to cleaning. Can this part come out? Very difficultly, because there's IPA everywhere. It would be good if I could disconnect this and just run it in an IPA bath. What if I turn it around? Yep, there we go. I wonder if I could just like use a brush and IPA. I mean, like I said, it's functional, so I don't want to risk damaging it. I could use a brush and some IPA and make sure it's super dry before I let it go back to work. What is this? Oh my god, I don't even know where this went. That's not good. I know this went up, but what did this do? This looks like it was here. Yeah. Yeah, it was like that. Surprised I figured that out. Don't even know what that's for, but that's just going down. It looks like it sucks air. And this blows air perhaps. There's a hole there in this and a hole in that. Okay, so this is a ceramic sink, so it's okay to pass resin through this, whilst if you've got an acrylic bath or something, don't put resin in that. Okay, that I can just leave to the side now, wait for it to dry by itself, or I can give it a hand later on. But what about this? Do I want to unscrew it all? Because if I unscrew it all, there's going to be a bit of a mission. Screw it, let's unscrew it. And I can use the video as a reference for getting it back together. Sorry about that. So, have a good look of how it is first before I do any unscrewing. That goes down. Okay, let's try. Let's close this first to make sure any screw doesn't get trapped. Or I don't want to flush the screws down basically. People say you can wash electronics with IPA as long as you let it dry after before you turn it on. It should be fine. So I might try and do that, see what happens. Because like I said, I do have a spare pump. And I want to know if all these screws are the same. So the reason resin got up there, because it's supposed to reverse air into the pump, and not resin, but it reversed resin, which is why now resin is in a lot of places here, because it was reversing resin, not water. It's a bit awkward with Allen key. I'm going to get a different screwdriver. Okay, so I've got a screwdriver, Allen key, and so this should really speed things up for me. Okay, so you see all the screws are universal, they're the same length, same size, so no big deal, one screw in it. There we go. Okay, so now to wash it, do I want to wash it here? Let's collect the screws first. And I'm going to have to disinfect the whole area after. 3, 4, 5. Is it 5 screws? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there's 5 screws. Okay, let's put this aside and God, I don't know where to start. Let's just spray. Don't know where to put them. Let's put this somewhere else for now. I think that's all screws. Yep. What? Uh-huh. I'm going to put these in a resin bath. Both these plastics. However, the electronics, I can't do that. Well, I don't want to do that. Especially the motor piece, I don't want to submerge that. Oh, my hands are sticky. So let's have a look. Okay, so the resin doesn't look like it's on the actual board itself, which is great. Was a bit there, but it's some on the motor, so maybe I can avoid cleaning most of it. That. You know what I can do is I can spray some on this, clean like that, so that the liquid doesn't travel up into the motor. Okay. Oh, it's starting to stink. Oh, this is cracked. This is all cracked. So maybe this is a bit dodgy now, this motor. I guess I could still try it, and if it doesn't, I could just change the motor to a new one. I wonder if the resin caused this crack. I think that is 2 LEDs that travel up into the LED slot kind of thing. So yeah, this is why it's so important to make sure that you connect it into the correct direction. Oh, in case you want to see, it says automatically feed version 0.04 with a QR code. Okay, I think now it's time for the resin bath. So the plastic pieces are cleaned. But I'm just going to progress with reassembling this now. So I think this is good enough for me now. So let's close this back up and let's try to reassemble this. So that, I believe that went here, but before that happens, I think this needs to go down here. I will get to screwing things together when I find their place. If that is twisted, for example, they shouldn't be twisted because you don't want any air kinks at all. Oh. Yeah, it's supposed to be like that. Bit of trouble here. I've got a kink here. That doesn't rotate. Maybe it's supposed to be up. Oh, that came off. This is quite tricky. I'm sure that was here. Or was it downwards? Maybe that's why the kink is like that. No, because it causes a kink. maybe this is, I know why. Because these two things look very similar. That's why. So I'm pretty sure this one's supposed to go there. So the long one, there, goes down. And I twisted the hell out of this. Yeah. Jeez, this is so weird. Okay. It's like a puzzle, ain't it? There we go. Okay, I think we can get some screws in to keep things from going everywhere. Just so we start getting some stability. Pretty sure that this cannot be obstructed at all, because this is what we connect the air that pushes out. There we go, we've got one aligned. And to get the second one aligned, will it be trickier? No, it's fine. Not too tight. Remember, we are screwing into plastics. There we go, that just sits down there. And basically the goal is to not have any kinks in these tubes. That looks pretty good. So we've got two screws left. One here to the back. Okay. So that's all of them. Oh. Okay. So now to continue reassembling into the rest. Yeah, this doesn't even twist. This doesn't turn, so okay. Don't want to move this. Wanted to put it on the other side, behind this. There we go. A bit more tidier. Right, let's continue. So, let's close the door. Oh, we didn't clean this bit. I've got to go clean this quickly myself. Okay, we're good. We have the piece cleaned. So, this needs to go through again. Okay. And then it reconnects. I think I want to start off with reattaching this, so then we get the spring in here, and then these two long screws that screw in here. It's a bit of a thicker Allen key. One to the other side, and there's no electronic chip. This is just a connector that goes to these two metal prongs, and that just goes inside the vat to see if it can pass a current through. And if it can't, it assumes that there is no resin, not enough resin for the vat, so it indicates to the printer for it to refill. Okay, there we go, the spring's in the correct place. So now it should be pretty straightforward. This connector will go in. I'll do that connector in a minute. Let's just get it aligned. There we go. Easy. And that's the whole assembly. And that is just 3 of these screws. Are they thick? Okay. Do not over tighten these. There's no need for them to be super tight. If you over tighten it, you risk breaking the thread and not being able to screw it back together. I know I mentioned that it's very important, but that is something that I used to have a habit of doing, over tightening things for no particular reason. Okay, so I'm going to remove my gloves now and just get things cleaned up with some more IPA. But kitchen rolls this time, because now we can get things drying. Actually, I shouldn't have removed my gloves because I'm just actually putting IPA all over my hands. But that's basically it for the auto feeding system. For the pump side at least. Yep, the 2 prongs aligned with the top here. Can't really see where I actually plug it into here. It's quite a tight. Well, no, short cable, not tight. It's been inserted. So these are the slightly longer screws. Okay, that is that. So that is it for the front screen. and the auto feeding pump. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.